So, Ford's been all gung-ho about electric vehicles, EVs, lately, right? Well, it turns out that whole revolution thing is hitting a few speed bumps. Instead of raking in the dough, they're actually eating some serious losses. Big boss at Ford finally decided to pull the plug on this whole controversial dealership program they had going on. Let's break down why this change of plans was pretty much inevitable. At first, everyone was super hyped about EVs. But things have changed, man. Range anxiety, that whole will I get stranded with a dead battery? Fear, not enough charging stations around, and the price tag being way up there have kinda put a damper on things. Plus, with the economy being kinda shaky and prices going up everywhere, people aren't exactly lining up to drop a ton of cash on new tech. Hybrids, on the other hand, are looking pretty good these days. A more practical, budget-friendly option for a lot of folks. Ford shifting gears towards hybrids instead of going all in on EVs shows they're paying attention to how people are actually buying. Ford expected its dealerships to go all in on EVs too, expensive certifications, installing charging stations, the whole 9 yards. But a lot of them balked. Low demand and high costs will do that. This whole standoff led Ford to scrap the certification program. Now dealerships can sell EVs without jumping through hoops. This move is all about reducing risk and getting back in the good graces of dealerships, letting them focus on stuff people are actually buying. Hybrids are having their moment in the sun. Models like the Maverick and the Hybrid F-150 are flying off the lots. This success is a stark contrast to the struggles EVs are facing, highlighting why Ford is putting more muscle behind hybrids as a more viable and profitable option right now. Ford launched this whole direct-to-consumer sales thing with their Ford Finder Ya platform. And let's just say, it ruffled some feathers at dealerships. They weren't too thrilled about potentially being cut out of the loop after investing all that money in EV infrastructure. This shift to online sales is a big deal for Ford, aimed at making buying a car smoother and less of a hassle, but it might come at the cost of those long-standing relationships with dealerships. Dealerships weren't just going to sit back and take the EV program lying down. They challenged it in court, arguing that the requirements were too burdensome and the allocation practices were unfair. Meanwhile, Ford's got its own set of headaches, delays on major EV projects, including those shiny new factories and models they've poured tons of money into. These challenges forced Ford to rethink its investment strategy and prioritize projects that are more likely to turn a profit. So, what does this all mean? Ford hitting the pause button on its all-EV everything strategy shows they're willing to adapt to the real world. EVs have a way to go before they're mainstream, and Ford's acknowledging that. Hybrids are a smart compromise, offering a bridge to a fully electric future. The move towards online sales is a bold bet on changing how people buy cars, but it's definitely shaking things up with dealerships. Only time will tell how it all plays out, but one thing's for sure, Ford's trying to stay ahead of the curve in a rapidly changing car market.